a psycho icon. The rifle might bomb, get an eye full of lead when I snipe your lights out. With a street cleaner, wipe your life out. Bullets know what your ears like a Tyson fight out. Fuck the knife clout, guns, clips. I'm going to fuck that one, bitch. I hit these street punks and chumps don't know me. Ain't no problem to leave your whole body homie.
Well, hello and welcome to another video. It's a bit of a windy day today, so I'll probably have to turn down the sound of the GoPro a bit more. Hopefully the mic isn't picking it up. I've got my visor closed. It's my neighbour, lad. I'm not allowed to get the revs up yet. You don't know that, I don't think so. But anyway, I'm now going to go put some petrol in it for the first time. I'm still saying 2 bars. So I've done pretty well. It's now at 101.1 miles. So yeah, we'll go and do that. I thought I'd just talk a little bit about what it's like to own this bike. Just in case you didn't know, it's the Keeway RKV 125. It's a Chinese made bike. They were originally made in Holland, I think. I did read up a little bit about them while I was looking into buying one. Yeah, this bike, so far, although I'm not allowed to bring the revs up, even though I keep accidentally doing that now and then by either not getting it in gear or just not keeping an eye on it and going slightly above. That's just worse when it don't go in gear, because it goes up to like 8 to 10,000 revs, and I'm supposed to keep it under 5,000 for now. I'm sure it's not too much of a problem now, because I have run it in for 100 miles, so surely it won't do too much damage. But yeah, so far the bike's been fun to ride, easy to ride. I've read it in the wet and everything. You would have seen if you've seen my videos already. Yeah, that's what I was saying before as well. I think these were originally made in Norway, I think. Then they partnered up with a Chinese manufacturer. And they're obviously partnered with Benelli as well, who do the design and stuff, I think. It's got the Benelli sticker down there, I don't know if you saw that then, but... yeah, so I think these bikes for Chinese bikes are well made. Probably better than others, and obviously could be worse anyway. It's like the Lex Motos are meant to be pretty good and pretty solid. The engines are meant to be pretty bulletproof. I think they are like engines made by Yamaha, or at least made on the same designs. I'm not 100% sure of that. Well, there we go. A nice full tank now. I was expecting to have to put a little bit more in, because this is a 17 litre tank. But it cost me £6.73 to fill it up from 2 bars. So that's not bad. So at least a couple of weeks more driving before filling it up again. Unless I do more driving, of course. Yeah, this is a perfect little starter bike, I think, if you're going to start on your CVT and learn a bit before you do your full licence. especially if you want to buy a new bike as well, because they're so cheap. List prices on the road prices at 1870 at some places. It might be a little bit less, a little bit more at some places, but it's much cheaper than your Japanese equivalents, which is why I decided to go for it. Remember to use your indicators, people. At least that lorry does. It's a really comfortable bike as well, and it feels bigger than it is because it's got a nice wide tank on it and stuff. It's quite a chunky little bike. It's got chunkier tyres than like the YBR and probably the CVF as well. I haven't really compared them too much on pictures and that, but what I've seen compared to the YBR, these are quite nice chunky tyres for a 125. But it seems quite nice and smooth. As long as you're firm and everything, your gearing and everything is fine. As I've mentioned it in a video before, that can be a bit funny, but I think that's just because I'm a new rider and all that, so that's going to be a little bit clunky now and then and a bit hit and miss. I'm just going to go for a little bit more of a ride around, and then I'm going to pop back home or something. I need to get some more miles on it because I do really want to get that first service out of the way. I'd have it done now, but apparently Keeway are funny about being a bit perfect with it. So he said, like, you know, you've got to try and make it like, yeah, 180 mile service has got to be pretty much on 180 miles, otherwise they can be funny about any warranty issues and stuff. Don't know whether it's just him being awkward or whether that's true, I don't know. But surely the dealer is what deals with all that, so he should be able to ignore most of that, shouldn't he? So yeah, just now and then it's just an awkward bitch. But I'm sure it's not the bike, I'm sure it's just me. It's not being firm enough and stuff. It's going to be a fun little bike once I can get them revs up again. Nearly said again, when I get them revs up. So at the minute you are kind of restricted. In some ways also I do kind of wish that I went for a slightly cheaper model, the RKS I think it is, and they do the RKS Sport now. The only reason I wish I did, because one of those, I can't remember whether it's the RKS or the RKS Sport, I think it's probably the Sport, but one of those does have fuel injection, whereas this is carburetted, which I was quite surprised about. Their most expensive model is still carburetted, which is a little bit strange. Bloody taxi drivers are some of the worst drivers on the road, mate. They're supposed to be the professional drivers, and they just haven't learnt a thing in all their years of driving. So yeah, if you're thinking of starting out on a 125 for your first year or two and want to look for a fairly cheap 125 to get you through, but you want new, or even if you want second hand, because you'll should be able to pick them up fairly cheap if you find them second hand, I'd say yeah, go for it. There are obviously other companies as well that do cheap Chinese bikes. You've got one of the probably most popular ones is Moto. I'm sure if you've been looking into bikes and that, you would have come across those. When I was looking around, I came across those fairly quick, partly because my nephew was looking around at the same time, and he went for a Moto Venom, which he's going to actually pick up in a few days or so. Well, it might be about a week, because he's got to get the registration done and stuff. So that's another good option. I've heard quite good things about them. They're meant to be nice little bikes, and the engines are meant to be pretty bulletproof. Oops. Which I'm hoping is the same with this as well. So it has been through it a bit, not crazy messed up things about. No, I used to go to school there a long time ago, but like I've said already in this video, occasionally I have over revved it, brought the revs up to 9-10,000, which is the red line at 10,000. So I'm hoping that won't hurt it too much. It's only like once or twice here and there, and some of the times has been since I've done a fair few miles, so hopefully the engine has sort of ran in quite nicely by now. But it would be nice to get that first service done, so I get some nice fresh new oil in. That's why you have to take it easy at first, because they have to bed in, and obviously when they're bedding in they shear a bit of the metal off the piston rings and stuff. Whoops. So you end up with quite a bit of metal filings in the oil, which should be sorted out by the oil filter, which should be sort of kept in that. So I'm hoping that's doing its job. Just thought I'd have a little ride around here while I'm doing this video. Nothing too formal, so don't matter if I don't stick to the subject matter which I'm talking about, because there's not going to be that in-depth review or early view of the bikes, because obviously I haven't had it long. I've had it literally 2 weeks today. Even when you get through them gears nice and smooth and fast, that is nice fun. Pretty nippy little thing. So it's definitely going to be a bit of fun once I can get them revs up again. How many times have I mentioned that in the videos now? I'm sure it won't be the last either. So I've still got quite a few miles before I can bring the revs up some more, and then that's just to 7,500 for another certain amount of miles. Can't remember it all now. And then after them miles are done, I guess I'll get another service done. I just skipped that bit because I had a little bit of trouble with the gears again. It just went straight into neutral or something. I'm just not firm enough sometimes on that pedal. You got to try and let it reset after changing it. Then make sure you bring that clutch right in and be firm on it when you're going up or down. remember to come off the throttle. Because that's what I do sometimes when I over rev. You hear that, that's where I haven't come off the throttle or not enough. Well, I must not have filled it up quite enough, but the petrol pump just started going a bit all loopy. Or maybe it was just from the lean from that turn. I went down a bar then it's gone up again. Another thing I wanted to mention is obviously I'm coming into winter in the UK right now, so there might be periods where I can't make any videos to get up because of the weather. It's just been, you know, I've done well to get videos up so far. So it's been rainy constantly since I got this bike. So there might be periods where it's too rainy, too wet, too cold or whatever. As long as I don't think there's ice on the road, and that, I'll probably go out on most days when I have to go out, like to hospital and stuff. But making videos, I'll only sort of do it if it's relatively clear. So it's been a fun little ride, got a few more miles on it. It's now at 108.3. I've still got to get home, it's quite a distance. I'll pop one out first. I don't know if I'll make another video today for another time. I've probably got time, but I'm not sure. I'll still have the gear on, so we'll see what comes out of it. But if you like this video, don't forget to give me a like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully this week will be a bit of a drier week than the first week I had the bike. It's typical of my luck. Get a brand new bike and that was just rainy all the time. Go straight over it. Just go crack that a bit.